My Planet, a book of environmental studies. 4. Chapter 9. The World of Birds. Pep up. Which of the following are the body parts of a bird? Put a tick under them. Birds are beautiful animals. Many birds can fly with the help of their wings. Some of the features that distinguish birds from other animals are wings, feathers, beaks and claws. Feathers. Birds are the only animals which have feathers. A bird's body is covered with feathers. Feathers have different colors in different birds. There are 3 kinds of feathers. Different kinds of feathers. Down feathers. These feathers cover the body and keep it warm. They are small and fluffy. Body feathers. These feathers cover the body and give a shape to it. Flight feathers. Flight feathers are long and flat feathers in the wings and tail. They help the bird to fly. How do birds fly? Birds fly with the help of movement of wings. A bird flaps its wings in both the upward and the downward direction to fly. These movements of wings are called upstroke and downstroke respectively. When a bird reaches higher in the air, it does not need to flap its wings. The tail of a bird acts like the rudder of a boat. It helps the bird to change its direction during the flight. Flying differently. Some birds like eagle, vulture and kite fly at great heights. Some birds like sparrow and bulbul fly low. Some birds like crow and pigeon fly over long distances. Some birds like hen fly only short distances. They usually walk on legs. More to learn. Cranes are the tallest flying birds. An ostrich is taller than a crane, but it is a flightless bird. Flightless birds. Some birds like kiwi, ostrich, penguin do not fly at all because their bodies are too heavy. These birds are called flightless birds. They move on with the help of their legs. Aquatic birds. Aquatic birds live in water. They spend most of their time in water, either floating on the surface, diving to catch fish, swimming gracefully or simply wading through the water. These birds have oil glands which do not allow their feathers to get wet or spoiled by water. These birds have webbed toes which help them to swim in water. Ducks, swans, cranes, gulls and pelicans are common water birds. Feet and claws of birds. Different birds have different types of feet and claws. The claws of a bird help the bird in perching, walking, climbing and swimming. They also help in catching, holding and eating the food. Claws protect the birds from their enemies. Let us know about some common types of feet and claws of birds. Scratching birds. Scratching birds like hens and quails have strong feet with 3 toes in front and 1 short toe at the back. Each of these toes has a sharp horny claw to scratch the ground. These birds scratch the ground to bring out the buried food, seeds and insects from the ground. Scratching birds walk and run on the ground. Perching birds. Perching birds like crow and sparrow have 4 toes in their feet, 3 in front and 1 at the back. These toes help such birds in perching, that is to hold the branch of a tree very firmly. The toes make it possible by gripping the branches firmly even when the bird is asleep. Perching birds may also hop on the ground. Birds of prey. Birds of prey like eagle, vulture, hawk and owl have very strong feet with sharp claws called talons to catch and hold their prey firmly. These birds may carry their prey to long distances. Swimming birds. Swimming birds like duck and swan have webbed feet. Their feet have special webs of skin between toes. A webbed foot is like a paddle. Webbed toes help birds to push back water while swimming. Climbing birds. Climbing birds like parrots and woodpeckers have 4 toes, 2 pointing upwards and 2 downwards. These toes help the bird to cling to the bark of trees and to climb up. More to learn. Flamingos stand on both legs while they feed. When they rest, they stand on one leg because this helps them keep their balance better. Wading birds like crane and paddy birds have thin and long feet with wide spreading toes. These toes keep the feet safe from sinking in the soft mud. Beaks and food habits of birds. Birds eat grains, seed, fruits and flesh. They use their beak to catch and hold food. Birds do not have hands and teeth. Their beak tear, bite, chisel and crush the food. Different birds have different types of beak. Its shape and size depend on their food habits. Some birds use their beaks to fight with the enemy or catch the prey or use it to clean the feathers. According to their food habits, beaks are of different types. Short and broad beak. Birds like swallows have short and broad beaks which are sticky inside. These birds move round and round in the air, keeping their beaks open. During flight, the small flying insects enter the beak and get stuck inside the mouth. Short, hard and horny beak. Birds, like sparrows, pigeons and peacocks eat nuts, grains and seeds. They have short, hard, pointed and horny beaks to break the food into small pieces. Curved beak. A parrot has a curved beak. It helps it to crack nuts and hard fruits. The curved beak also helps it to climb. Broad and flat beak. A duck has broad and flat beak. It has tiny holes called shovels at the sides and fine holes called strainers all along the edges. Such a beak helps the duck to dig the mud near the pond, to pick up insects, worms and water plants. Water and mud flow out from the strainers and shovels, leaving insects, worms and water plants in the mouth. Strong, sharp and hook-shaped beak. Praying birds like eagle, vulture, hawk, kite and owl have strong, sharp and hook-shaped beaks. This type of beak helps them in tearing the flesh into small pieces. Broad, long and pointed beak. Birds like stork and kingfisher have broad, long and pointed beaks. They help them to catch fish from the water. Strong and heavy beak. A woodpecker has a strong and heavy beak. This type of beak is also called chisel-shaped beak. This beak helps it to pick up food and to make holes in the trunks of the trees. Long, thin and pointed beak. A sunbird has a long, thin and pointed beak. It helps the bird to suck juice from the fruits and flowers. Long and slender beak. A hoopoe has a long and slender beak. It helps it to pull out insects from holes in the ground. Let's recapitulate. Birds are beautiful animals. Feathers have different colors in different birds. A bird flaps its wings in both the upward and the downward direction to fly. The tail of a bird acts like the rudder of a boat. The claws of a bird help the bird in perching, walking, climbing and swimming. Chisel-shaped beak helps to pick up food and to make holes in the trunks of the trees.